Hey man, I can't even do the intro right. I'm still trying to catch my breath, bro. Welcome to Bleachers and Speakers. I'm your host, June. I got Foster with me. Foster, do we need this kind of pressure in our lives?
Man, the way the game started, it's like I couldn't have guessed, despite the fact that we've been there, done that before. I couldn't have guessed that it would have took all that. But it's a win. It's a W in the on the board. So
That
I'm
was
yeah.
too close. Now, if you don't jump out to 21-0, then we don't trip over it being so close. But the mere fact that you're up mercy rule if it was Madden
And
in
man,
my
they
house.
out of there. Yeah, they
Yeah,
out of there.
he passed the sticks, you know what I'm saying? But to make it to where they could have very well took the lead in the fourth quarter, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I missed the entire first half. I didn't and part of the third. Um I started listening to it uh where I was over the radio, and then I caught the last bit of the third quarter and the entire fourth quarter. So um I don't know. I'll let you tell it, Foster, because I didn't see the game. I'm just going by, I'm getting updates, this, that, and other. So what did you see in the first half?
In the first half, the defense and the offense both did very well. Brian Branch had an interception on the first play of it was on the first. I think it was the first play of their first drive. Brian Branch had an interception on the play where the tight end. It went through the tight end's hands, and Branch made a one-handed catch. I want to say the interception he had with his Chiefs was a one-handed catch too, um, but yeah, so he had a pick after, but that was after we scored. We scored on the first drive pretty easily, and then Branch gets an interception deep in their zone. We score again, and we ended the first half. It was 21. After the first quarter, I believe it was 21-0. So we were very much in control of the game. The defense was getting stops, and the offense was scoring at will, and it looked as if we were gonna kind of just blow them out of the water. It was way too early to make that call, but just the vibes early on were like, okay, all right,
Not according to your Facebook post, Foster.
what I say on my post.
Lions are putting their feet up.
Oh, yeah, no, it was crazy. It's crazy how many Lions fans sit so close. Like we were, first of all, we had the Let's Go Lions chant going heavy. They were booing Derek Carr,
Okay,
and
that's why you said that. Okay, I didn't know why.
no,
Okay.
the booing was from the Saint. Well, yeah, I said that. Well, I
No,
said
I,
that
I
because
mean, I didn't know that's I thought you said that because of the score. I didn't know you said that because
no,
of the setting.
I was
Okay.
talking about the fan. I was referring to the fans and how the
Gotcha.
fans were
Gotcha.
in there making their presence known, because the Saints is a pretty strong fan base. Like,
It is. Who
but
that?
so is the Packers. We ran into the pack. We ran up in Lambeau Field and took their money. So, yeah, that's just how we do. That's just how we do.
And then we let them take ours on Thanksgiving, but
Oh my God, they
it hit
yeah,
different.
it's different on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Let's stay away from that.
Yeah, we
Green
gonna
Bay is over. They're not going to make the playoffs. We don't have to deal with them. We split the season over.
yeah, yeah.
So, are you prepared to give grades today, Foster?
Yeah, I didn't write them down, but I'm a kind of work
we'll
through them. Yeah.
sift through them. I can't give too many grades because so I'll just put it in the interview form like Foster. How did you grade the offense today?
So I give it a solid B. I give him a solid B. We
Okay,
took care of the ball. Um, Goff was in game manager mode. He only had 213 yards passing, but he did have 2 touchdowns. Gibbs and Montgomery had a pretty uh, had a pretty balanced attack both ways. Gibbs had some pretty long runs. Montgomery scored the rushing touchdown, and Jamo had a nice catch early in the game. He had a touchdown on that end around. He
I
needs
saw
to
that.
he needs to chill out on that jumping and diving. We don't need no freak accidents. You dislocating your shoulder doing silly stuff. But at any rate, yeah. And it's funny. It was because when Khalif Raymond took the first end around, in my head, I was thinking that would have been a perfect opportunity to get Jamo the ball. So sure enough, end around to Khalif Raymond, reverse to Jameson Williams.
Okay.
Huge touchdown.
Hire
Laporta.
Foster as your offensive coordinator. He knows what he's talking about.
Well, I'm just, just watching how the game progresses. But
Okay.
but I will be remiss if I didn't mention Laporta, who had a major game. I think he ended up with 10 plus catches. No, 9. He had 9, and he had a career high 140 yards. He had a big touchdown as well.
He ate today.
Yeah, he looked to be Goff's favorite target out there. He if he caught 9, I know he targeted him at least over 10 times.
Well, we talked about it before. The Saints defense, pass defense is pretty good. Mm-hmm. So you have to figure something's got to give. If they're playing good defense on the wide receivers, the tight ends have to be open.
Yeah.
Pause if applicable.
Can't get everybody. Can't defend everybody. And it just goes to show that we just have a multitude of weapons at any moment. Anybody can hurt you, whether it's Gibbs on some of those long runs, Montgomery in between the tackles. You got to watch out for Jameson Williams, and you got a Pro Bowl. Yes, I said it, Pro Bowl tight end, Sam Laporta. And Reynolds made the game sealing catch on a shoestring type catch. So
yes, he did.
And our best, and I just feel like I'm just rattling off names, but our best receiver, our biggest weapon, had a pretty conservative game from what I can remember. Yeah, just 2 catches for 49 yards.
Oh, wow.
So, and he had a nice run that set up a touchdown as well. A nice catch that set up a touchdown where he was lined up against a linebacker somehow. And,
he's food.
So everybody did their part. Like I said, Goff didn't have a monster 300-yard passing game, but he managed the game. He scared me on a couple passes early in the game. Like I think it was a screen to St. Brown that they almost jumped. They jumped a couple routes. That secondary is tough. They are aggressive, and they are active out there. But we were able to get out of there without any turnovers. I think they fumbled the first. They started the game fumbling the first snap. Yeah, they did. Yep, the Lions on the drive that we ended up scoring on, we fumbled the first snap, and it was almost like, no, we're not doing this. We left the turnovers in the past.
Okay.
But yeah, I gave them a solid. When all said and done, a solid B. They didn't blow them out the water, but they were efficient, and they got the job done when we needed it to be. When we need to get it done, we started hot, slowed down, and got it together at the right time.
So if you was to say you had a MVP, an offensive MVP, that would probably be Sam Laporta today.
Absolutely.
Okay. How did you grade the defense?
Okay.
Do we have to call Aaron Glenn? Do we have to make a phone?
No, he did. He saved his job for another couple weeks. I'm gonna give him a B plus.
What?
I'm gonna give him a B plus. I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
We gave up. I'm not gonna lie. Taysom Hill. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see
RPO.
him bro.
RPO.
More than that though. Like Taysom Hill caught a pass today. I don't think he completed a pass. I know he he rolled out and threw one that was incomplete. But that dude at the end of the game was he returned kicks, he caught passes, he ran, he threw. He did it all. He was like it was like high school for him. His jersey was bloody. His arm, he had bruises on his arm. Like that's the MVP of their team. I don't care what they say. But yeah, Taysom Hill was a factor in that game, and it was funny because the Saints guys, first play of the game, 8-yard run. They take him out the game, crowd starts booing because they love Taysom Hill. He's like God to them. But yeah, he was tough. I think he had at least 1 or 2 touchdowns for certain. But he diced us up pretty bad. And before Derek Carr got hurt, I want to say they said he had 15 straight completions. Before
and
that.
With that being said, with a guy like Taysom Hill getting down and Derek Carr having 15 straight completions, I know they've had red zone problems, but they had 4 touchdowns in the red zone today.
I told them they was going to score this week. I'm like, we're going to let y'all score some points. Trust on that.
You're still giving the Detroit Lions just for clarity. You're still giving the defense a B.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
B+ because
B+. Okay.
We turned the ball over twice. We got a fumble recovery, which was kind of, by the grace of God, we were able to get that one. On the Tracy Walker gets a fumble recovery. Branch got an interception, and our pass rush wasn't. I feel like Cam Sutton was doing his thing. I think Jacobs kind of got chewed a little bit. What's going on, Gabe? I feel like Jerry Jacobs kind of got cooked a little bit, but I feel like Sam was solid. Who else looked good out there? But most importantly, we got to the quarterback a little bit.
How did Irvin play a lot, and how did he look?
So I don't think he played. I feel like he played on pass rush downs.
Okay.
I don't think he played. He was an every down guy, but
he's 36 years old. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, but on the sack he got, I was telling you earlier, it was a race to the quarterback. I think him and Hutch were both kind of almost there, but Irvin went right around the edge and got straight to him without too much of a move. I feel like that pressure he got that knocked Derek Carr out the game. Hopefully Derek Carr is all right, but to be honest, that call was kind of garbage.
Yeah, I saw the play, and what they're trying to do, the NFL wants to do, is they're protecting the quarterbacks even that much more. So
you can't land all your weight on them or whatever.
You can't drive them into the ground.
Yeah,
I don't think you can drive them into the ground. I think they'll call it even if it's a sack if you do it.
Well, yeah. I think it has nothing to do with whether the ball is in his hand. You can't do that. I feel like he tried. What he did try to do, and they did highlight that, is that he tried to not drive his helmet through his chest. Mm-hmm. So he did kind of, move his head to the side.
I hate that call, by the way. I hate the call.
But it killed. But it honestly, it almost cost us the game because it becomes a 15-yard penalty. Jameis Winston comes into the game, drives him down the field, and
pass.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. So
it should have been an interception.
Yeah, well, you can't knock Brian Branch for it because
you gotta go for the ball.
But it did hurt us because, well, first of all, his vert was insane to even get a hand on that, but it looked as if it was falling right into Jerry Jacobs' breadbasket, and that just our luck goes right into Olave's hands. But yeah, overall, I mean, their offense at its best is pretty. You got Taysom Hill, you got Alvin Kamara, Olave looked good out there, and but Jimmy Graham, who knew Jimmy Graham was still playing football? But
what's up, Breezy?
Breezy Will in the building, but yeah. So yeah, overall, I like the fact that we got to the quarterback. Romeo Okorie got a sack as well. Irvin and Okoro got a sack. Hutch is still,
Without goose egg, is the effort still there?
Yeah, the effort's still there, which is that's cute. They're all putting in effort though. So, but yeah, he's still. I think I want to say he got hurt. Did he get hurt?
Hutch?
Not like seriously hurt, but I think I think he was on the sideline for a little bit. And that's when Okoro actually got the sack. Was when.
Yeah, I don't know if that's why they had him on the sideline or not, but I do know he was on the sideline, and that's when they got the second sack.
The second, yeah. The second sack was definitely while he was on the sideline. So, I like the fact that Bruce Irvin, our guy, because it was funny because everybody kind of knew that he was going to be getting some playing time. So a lot of people were predicting, he was going to get 1.5, 2 sacks. So, I wasn't too optimistic of it, but I'm certainly pleased with how he played today. I feel like we looked that much better, although. Still not enough for me. I still see Derek Carr sitting back comfortable, the most comfortable he's looked in the last few weeks. So
for sure, versus the Lions, yes.
Jet Campbell was all right though, because we did have to move guys around, and Reeves Maben was balling special teams, and you don't see him on the field for actual playing linebacker very much, but he was pretty active today too. So overall, with all that said, I did give him a B+ because we did as far as we've been saying, one of the biggest keys has been the turnover battle and being trying to be in the plus area of that. So both those interceptions, both those turnovers turned into points for us. So got to give it up to Aaron Glenn for creating some plays and getting some sacks. So I got to give him a B+. I may be grading him on a curve because of how bad we've been, but yeah, I think B+.
It's okay. It's your grade book, man. We ain't not gonna question your grades, man. It is what it is. I know I taped the game. I tape every game. I'm gonna go back and watch the first half. Might be too little. This is the official show for the recap show. So, but just for my own personal viewing, I want to see what's going on, what happened in the first half. Seemed to be an exciting one. To go up 21-0 and be up 24-7 at half. It's a pretty good half of football. I like to see what's going on. Now, before we go to a break, I want you to grade these coaches, man. How do you grade the coaches? You said Aaron Glenn gets a pass this week. He prolongs his defensive coordinator position. Not that we've heard anything or anything, just talking trash as far as that. But how do you grade the coaching today?
I almost will give him an A-, but that might be too generous because we almost blew the lead. I like the fact that we got off to a good start. I'm glad that we were able to weather the storm and get the job done and not give the game away. I like the fact that there was an instance where we could have went for it on fourth down deep in their zone, but kicking that field goal put the pressure on them to have to score a touchdown later on in the game.
Right.
Obviously we look like geniuses that we go for it and score a touchdown, but in the event that we go for it and don't get it, we put the Saints in an opportunity to where they can win the game against us. So I think we made the right decision there. I feel like our backs were kind of against the wall going into this game, and I feel like they had the guys prepared. We came out guns a-blazing. The defense was improved, not in the sense that we just completely shut them down, but like I said, we got some sacks and we turned the ball over, and we always do pretty well on special teams. I never have too much to say about them as far as special teams is concerned, but they're also a part of the coaching staff as well. So overall, I give them a solid B+. I think that if we don't allow them to get back in the game and put the pressure on, I definitely would have been willing to give them an A-.
Okay. Let's get to a break, and then on the other side, we'll talk more about today's game, and we'll probably get into some previews of the next game. But stay right there. Lions win today. Final score 33-28. Am I correct? Is that a correct score?
I don't have it up. 33-28. Is that what you said?
33-28, yes. And like I said, I missed most of the game. Had a meeting I totally forgot all about that I had to attend, and I couldn't listen to it until the meeting was just about over, and started listening in the third quarter. But check your inbox. I sent you a message there, and
I sent back.
Oh, okay. So what we're gonna do is what we're gonna do later on this week. We'll have a special, maybe 5-6 minute show, and do a featured player of the week. I want to keep that segment in there. Foster does an extremely masterful job talking about these Lions players, and these Lions players that he's talking about gives you a chance, the fan, to see what we see as far as these featured player of the week. And if you're new to football, or if you don't know much about these players, Foster gives an in-depth tutorial about each player. Like, he gets really detailed as far as their career, where they come from. He even goes as far as talk about their college and stuff like that. It's a really, really good segment, and I don't want to. I don't ever want to go without doing it. So, doing the segment. So later on this week, we'll drop that. And if you're watching right now, please, if you're listening right now, you can check us out on Motor City Metrics. That's the YouTube, and look for Bleachers to Speakers. And if you and for those that are watching, if you don't get a chance to watch us, you can follow us on Bleachers to Speakers FFSN on all the streaming platforms, and you can catch this show uploaded the next day or later on in the evening, whichever we decide to upload it, and you can listen to it. So you don't have to sit there and watch us. You can listen to it while another game is on, or if you don't like the commentary, what you're listening to, watching football, or you cleaning the house or riding in the car, all that other good stuff. So once again, Lions win 33-28. To win by 5 after being up 21, had to tell you something about how the second half went. Foster, were you nervous at all?
Yeah, I was. I was, bro. Like, I'm happy. The end result is all that matters. But yeah, I mean, the defense, I did give him a B+ today.
Yes, you did.
But they make me nervous. They got the job done, though. Creating turnovers. You see, the one thing about it is you don't have to have the most stout and perfect defense if you're taking the ball away, because some teams aren't that good, give up a lot of yards, but they find a way to swing the momentum with takeaways, and that will cover up a lot of the shortcomings that we have as far as the secondary and the pass rush. Like, yeah, I was definitely nervous, though. We had a lot of things go well for us towards, in that fourth quarter to get things going back in the right direction. So,
you know what? I couldn't help but think, like, in the fourth quarter, well, as I was watching, because I finally got a chance to actually pay attention to it, is we can't go 8-4.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, like, how horrible am I to scoff at
Right.
8-4, bro.
Scoff.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not good enough. Like,
Right.
have I watched Lions football in the past? Like,
We deserve the right to want more, though. Even though
we deserve more, Foster.
even though we should feel blessed to be where we're at, we deserve top notch, regardless of whether we end up getting that. We deserve the best.
I can't disagree with that. I just was like, am I getting
Uppity.
am I getting uppity? Is this a bougie approach? Like, like we're better than 8-4. What if like
Hey,
last year?
When you come from the dirt, when you come from the trenches, you deserve some fine dining sometimes. Eventually you got to come up from
Hey,
top ramen.
Hey, I definitely just couldn't like. And then there's a show we have on Wednesday. The guys, Pay and Dave, they have bye weeks. It would have been a disastrous show on Wednesday. I was thinking of excuses not to do the show. I was thinking. I really was thinking. How can I get out of this? But yeah, we win. Who do we have next week?
Good segue here. We have the Bears next weekend in Chicago, coming off a bye with a full head of steam. Well, kind of a full head of steam, but they're coming off a win. So,
and they're going to have vengeance on their hearts.
Oh yeah, because they lost. I keep feeling like they beat us. That's just how crazy that game was.
Well, they beat Green Bay the week after. So that's what I thought you was talking about. They beat Green Bay last week.
No, they beat the Vikings, right?
I mean, sorry, they beat the Vikings last week.
Right, but but it was funny in my head. I was thinking to myself because in that Bears game we won, right? But in my head, I've told myself several times that we lost that game because it was so weird. That was,
My son Jody Joe says Laporta is the player of the game. Absolutely. Looking at the stats, missing most of the game, yes.
He had a big catch down the stretch.
What a weapon. Like, bruh. And I'm one of those people that didn't, when they drafted him, like, oh, come on, man. We don't draft.
Were you in tune with him, though? Did you know? Were you? Because I was not at all.
Yeah. Any just about any player from the Big Ten, I pretty much, if they're any good, I know about them.
Yeah.
Because he was good at Iowa for about 3 years. Like, it wasn't just a senior thing. He was good for several years. I think he led them in receptions the entire time when he was a starter because their offense was so horrible.
Yeah.
And they depended on Laporta got down all the time, though. But you see why, though.
See, I mean, you're doing this well at the professional level. Some tells me you was all right in college.
Did you notice how Goff was scrambling a little bit, man?
A little bit.
It looked like he had tacks in his shoes, like it was hurting. But he was moving around in the pocket and
a tiny bit.
That
was weird.
Please don't make him have to rely.
He's trying to get that check.
Let's not rely on that, man. Oh, man. Don't do that, man.
But you know what? The way the Saints operate, well, their offense is what it is. But I wouldn't be mad if we had a Taysom Hill somewhere to further our offense is dangerous enough as it is. We have the most 20+ yard gains in the NFL. So we're plenty dangerous, but can you imagine if we had a guy that could come onto the field in place of Jared Goff in spotty situations and could bring yet another fold of pass, run, option threat? Like, our offense would be that much more dangerous.
A little off subject, but the Texans are for real. They just beat
Denver. They win again?
They beat Denver.
Okay.
They beat Denver. I I'm looking at some of the stats for the day. Jahmyr Gibbs, 8 carries, 60 yards. Montgomery, 18 carries, 56 yards. The receptions, as you mentioned before, Sam Laporta, 9 catches, 140 yards. He had 148. He had reception of 48 yards.
Mm-hmm. That was huge.
He was targeted 9 times.
And so he caught every 9
catches.
I was gonna say I feel like he almost he caught every time it was thrown his way.
And so that was and then you had Jack Campbell. He led the team in tackles. Your linebacker, 9 catches. 9 tackles. 9 total tackles.
Yeah. Dan Campbell was very adamant that he was gonna be stepping in place of Anzalone, calling the defense. They would be hearing his voice as far as the lead play, defensive play caller. And he sounded very Dan Campbell, he don't have step around stuff, but he seemed very confident in the way that his fake nephew was going to handle things with Anzalone out. So yeah, he did his thing.
I ain't mad at that, man. I wish I could. I'm going, like I said, after this show and after I get it uploaded to the streaming sites, I'm going to definitely watch the first half. But I think right now, though, I believe you have 49ers and Eagles playing right now. I'm going to watch the Lions first half later. Because after this show, I'm tuning in. I have to watch. Currently, the Eagles are up 3-0 with the ball.
We want the 49ers to win, right?
Well,
aren't the Eagles ahead of them right now?
The Eagles are 9-1.
Yeah, so the Niners have lost at least 2-3 games.
3 games. They lost. 3. They went on a 3-game losing streak.
Oh, so I guess if the Eagles won, that would give
us in second place.
Right. So yeah. I guess we're not going to catch the Eagles, so we need to just not worry about that.
Hey, from here,
we got 9 wins? How many wins we got? 9?
Yeah, we're 9-3. Eagles are 10-1. I think.
Okay, 10-1. I'm like, how they got 9 wins?
Yeah. The thing is about I have this argument all the time is like this late in the season and you're winning, you just got to win your games. If you if you have to worry about what everybody else is doing, then you won those games early for no reason. You know what I'm saying? You're in the driver's seat. The Lions have let me see. You said we have who next?
Bears.
We have the Bears next.
That's going to be a tough game in Chicago.
That's going to be a really tough game.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that's going to be a tough game. I hate to say it, but yeah, that's going to be a tough game. And then after that, you have we have the Broncos here.
Yep.
So they moved that game to primetime football.
On Saturday.
It's on Saturday, 8:15.
Yep.
And let's see. Fun. Then you have the Vikings.
The first Vikings game.
On Christmas Eve.
1:00. Is that Sunday?
Yeah, because Christmas is on a Monday.
Gotcha.
This year. Yeah.
Okay.
And then 6 days later, you're at Dallas. Then you have the Vikings again. Giants.
Giants.
That's going off to the next season. But the final is the Vikings.
Yeah.
Final
and that is at home.
That is at home. Now, 12 games down. You got 5 games left. You need to finish strong.
And good start, though. We needed this one to set the tone, though.
But I think we can get by if we win 2 out of these last 5. I want to win 3.
Very doable. Yeah.
I want to win 3.
I want to win them all.
Let me say that. I want to win them all, but there you have a chance because the Lions stalled against the Bears for like 2 quarters,
Yeah.
maybe 2.5 quarters. I don't think that happens again. I don't think that happens again.
They caught us. I feel like they kind of caught us slipping, and I feel like that's a home. I feel like that's a home thing. I feel like we often get caught slip. Well, the Packers, that and the fact that I feel like we were probably a little fatigued. Oh, and my brother was talking mad stuff. Like especially when we went up early against the Saints, he was like, "I told you, don't maybe come on that podcast and call you on your."
Hey, it's I don't know, man. I try to take things one game at a time.
Got to.
I want this is gonna be interesting. I'm pretty sure Pay may want to do a show with us.
Yeah.
You might
This
want
will
to
be
do a show with him.
interesting
It'll be
because
very
they
interesting.
didn't lose this week, so he feel he
He's
ain't got
feeling himself right now.
he
He's
ain't got to
feeling
hang his head. I mean, yeah. Well, I think he would have been feeling himself more if we had tripped and fell and lost to the Saints. He would have been shaking his dreads. He would have been so.
But you know what? I always say this, right? You're going to when you're playing division football, you have to at least to be successful. You have to win some games on the road that you shouldn't have to, that you don't not favored to win, and split the wins in your division. Like
least.
you have to at least you can't get swept, and there might be a game where you might have to steal a sweep. Like you might have to win 2 games. You might have to beat your division rival here and away, but you at least have to split. You know what I'm saying? So with the Bears, you've already won. You know what I'm saying? You'd like to sweep if you can, but if you can't, at least you split. The Vikings worry me because of how good their offense is.
Yeah.
I don't believe in Dobbs though.
He might not even. I mean, obviously they didn't have to make that quick, hair trigger decision this week because they're on a bye as well. But I don't think they know. I think if you ask Dave right now, who's playing next Sunday, I don't think he knows. They got 3 different guys that could possibly get that. Because Dobbs only started playing because I think the Jaren Hall guy got hurt.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why the Dobbs even got the opportunity that fast because they had just traded for him. So, there's no telling who's even going to play next week.
That's crazy. Well, I don't believe in him. I thought he was, I've seen him play before. I wasn't impressed then. Come into a pretty good receiving core. Of course, he's going to look good in the beginning, but I just hope. I do want him to switch quarterbacks because of the mobility. The Lions have issues.
Right. That actually bodes well for us for them to not have him playing.
You see earlier today where they ran. I mean, not earlier today, but last week, Russell Wilson, they ran a RPO for him. And he ran for about 30 yards. And I was like, oh my gosh.
We don't need to see.
Yeah. Why? But they lost today. Hold that thought, Foster. Let me get to a break and we'll be back on the other side. And after, we'll get on the side and we'll probably wrap this thing up, man. It's a great Sunday when the Lions win. We going into week. I don't want to say week because there's a bye week and that usually. So we're going into game 13 versus the Bears. And the Bears record What's the Bears record? You know the Bears record?
3 and something. Some week.
Boss, let's stay focused here.
They
focused.
are. Dang, why does it just says they're 4th in the division? That's all it
They're
says.
3-8.
I told you it was 3, so
Some week. 3-8. 3-8. Is there anything outside of Justin Fields? Because we know Justin Fields, DJ Turner, that worries you about this game.
Yeah, Moore, DJ Moore.
I said Turner, DJ Moore. I'm sorry.
Outside of that, our run stopping, our defensive line. That's the one thing that I didn't get a chance to talk about. Our defensive line, as far as stopping the run, has looked really, really good. That Bohanna guy that we got out the practice squad he's made Isaiah Buggs obsolete. I don't know what's the deal with that, but Bohanna has done well. I feel like there was somebody else. Oh, Pascal, Josh Pascal was pretty active in the run stopping department as well. So I think that we won't have any issues stopping the run, especially if Anzalone is back. But even if Anzalone is not ready to come back, I think that that Campbell, Barnes, I think those guys have done a serviceable job stopping the run. So yeah, mostly just Fields and DJ Moore. Outside of that, and the fact that they, probably feel like they got a chip on their shoulder because they probably should have beat us at Ford Field, but we've proven to be a pretty strong road team. We beat Green Bay in Green Bay. We beat New Orleans at New Orleans. We beat the Chiefs in Kansas City. We beat Tampa Bay at their house.
It was the Baltimore debacle.
The Baltimore, is the one game which they're tough. They're tough. We won't have to see them to the Super Bowl, so it is what it is. But yeah, on the road, we're proven to be actually probably a little bit tougher than we've been at home, ironically. So, basically, if we can keep Justin Fields at bay and not let DJ Moore do too much, I don't think they have a ton of weapons. Maybe Komet, what's his name? The tight end from the Bears is pretty good too. So.
I know you're talking about, but
yeah.
I'm terrible with names, bro.
Yeah, his last name is Komet. I can't remember what his first name is, but he's a pretty good tight end. But other than that, I think that we've got our turnover bug for the most part figured out. I think that was just kind of we're just going to call that an outlier, the last few games. So, but I do think it's going to be a tough game, though. I think that especially if the weather is kind of whack and Chicago's going to be rocking, man. They were pretty strong out in Detroit. So
will the weather be whack? Have you checked it out? Or?
I don't know. I know the weather in New York is going to be
it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right.
It's going to be the 50s. So I don't think it's going to be like snowy or anything, but if it's rainy and nasty, that could be interesting. But our team is kind of built for all terrain. We got guys that can, we can be bruisers and run the ball, which I hope which is going to be still important for us to do. But we also got some speedy guys that you got to worry about as well. So we're kind of built for any element, to be honest.
Okay. All right. I can agree with that. I ain't got no quarrels with that at all. None. So Troy versus Chicago, 1:00. Foster, that's next Sunday, right?
Yeah.
We're going to miss that game.
Yeah, I don't know when the event is, but yeah, we're probably going to miss the vast majority of that game. Yeah.
Well, let's see. What time is it though? The event.
If the event starts at like 4, then we'll probably be able to actually probably catch a decent amount, but sometimes those Sunday events are early, so
Okay. Golly. We gotta figure out how to do a show.
we'll figure something out. Yeah, maybe do a pregame, or isn't that what we talked about? Possibly doing like a pregame, because we're not going to be able to watch it intently enough to break anything down or anything like that. But
No, we probably we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Do you have any predictions for the Chicago game?
oh, the event's supposed to start at 3 o'clock. As
We're gonna.
far as
Will we
prediction,
be at the door at 3 o'clock or?
no, but with those, I mean, I think it's supposed to be a pretty packed event, and it's at Irving Plaza, so they kind of uh those big New York events tend to have like crazy lines outside. So
So we got to be there early.
possibly.
We're gonna miss the game.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna miss part of it, but yeah, it won't be. We'll be able to catch maybe the first half, maybe possibly the
No
first.
worries though, Foster, because I tape every game and I have the Xfinity app. We can run it back.
Yeah, we'll be able to catch it, and hopefully we're not there checking our phones and
I don't want to be doing that.
I'm definitely gonna be checking my phone, but
It is what it is.
but I think the Lions. I think the Lions win. I feel like um, I feel like we'll have great momentum going into the going into that game, coming off a tough win on the road, and I feel like as much as the Bears want some get back, we are a better team, by far the better team, and I feel like we want to continue. We want to continue that moment. We want to continue that momentum for sure. The Bears are
Mm-hmm.
kind of in shambles. Like their coaching staff is getting fired left and right, and they're already planning for their next quarterback possibly, and their next receiver. They got draft picks. They got draft picks to worry about. So um, so yeah, I think that the Detroit's definitely in the better space right now, and they see they ought to be by now starting to see where where we're headed right now, and should be playing with some purpose. So I got us winning. I say I don't know why I want to say 31-17. I don't know why that sounds good.
I don't think it'll be a high scoring affair. I really
You
don't.
think they can hold us though? That'd be my whole thing.
They did before.
How many points we score on them though?
I mean, that's true. True. I'm just saying, like,
Because
there
we
were
never get
some.
held. We never really get held down too bad. You know what I mean? Even if we don't have our best game, like you don't see us, uh, you know, like the Saints, like no touchdowns, just 6 field goals. Like nah, we put some points on the board for the most part.
Right. So I'm gonna say,
It is in Chicago though, and it is outside, so you always got to take that into
yeah, I was gonna say low scoring affair because of the weather, and I was gonna say like 20-10.
20-10.
Yeah,
And for the record, we scored 31 on them last time. It was 31-26.
yeah. Just their defense and the weather alone. Uh,
The
I hope
weather
the
is
wind.
looking like 20 to 35, partially cloudy. So
See, and
cold, but doesn't look like there's any precipitation. So
so if that wind blowing and golf's throwing those wobblers,
yeah, good point. Good
that
point.
bowl very well for an air attack. So, well, that about do it for today, Foster. I appreciate you, man, for taking time out your Sunday. I think I like doing the shows on Sunday since we have to set up and do our shows anyway for an immediate reaction. I did like the immediate reaction, but we seem to get more engagement when we do a show right after the Lions game. So thank you for checking us out. And like I said, after every not next game, but usually after the game is when me and Foster go live and do a show. But that Denver game is at 8 though.
Oh, it's a night game on Saturday.
Night game. They moved it. Well, we ain't got nothing to do Sunday morning. We'll do a show after the
Do my Sunday morning or doing it Saturday night?
Saturday night, man.
Yeah. Yeah,
We'll
that's
figure it out. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
that ain't gonna work. Yeah.
We'll talk about it. But check us out on Motor City Metrics, the YouTube, and you can check us out, Bleachers and Speakers, FFFN, on all streaming platforms. Once again, that's Bleachers to Speakers, FFSN. FFSN is a great network of sports media that me and Foster have been linked to, and they give us a platform for us to be heard and streamed. Download the episodes. Please download the episodes. Check us out. You got any last words before we get out of here, Foster?
Well, y'all can check out our we did a dual collaboration show with the New Orleans Saints guys prior to the game, of course. So if you care to, see how we broke it down or whatever the case may be, that's available on their platform. They're called the Dome Patrol on all stream, all podcast platforms. So that's available. I checked that out earlier. That was a solid show.
And those guys are so cool, man. They're so nice and they're so down to earth, and they didn't have any faith in their Saints. So I can't even talk trash to them.
Yeah, but no, I can't wait till I want to hear the post game or whatever they got going on after that one, because I know they maybe, even though they probably expected to lose, I know
they're going to say they should have won.
I would think so. Well, I would think so.
Those guys are been so good. They invited us to their platform, and they didn't talk any trash and this, that, and other. So I refuse to talk trash to them, but we won.